Assalamu alaikum friends, welcome to Knowledge TV. If you are new on the channel, please subscribe the channels and click the bell icon for new videos. Today we will discuss Jean-Jacques Rousseau, a political philosopher and very important for CSS and PMS Political Science Part 1 paper. So let's take a start what his contribution and what his political thoughts and political science. Rousseau was the father of the Romantic movement, the imitation of system of thought which infer non-human facts from the human emotions, and the inventor of the political philosophy of pseudo-democratic dictatorship is opposed to the traditional absolute monarchs. Hitler was the outcome of Rousseau. The year of 1749 was a turning point in his life. Chance brought Rousseau fame and immortality. The Academy of Dijon announced a prize for the best essay on the subject as the progress of sciences and the acts contributed to the corrupt and purify morals. He thought strongly that the progress of sciences and acts had tended to degrade human morality. Rousseau depicted in the essay an early state of society and emanated from the artificialities introduced by the civilizations. He won the prize. Shaw remarked, "It created a great sensation in the artificial society of the age of reason." It was a past ramble of the revolutions. Publication of his book Social Contract aroused the age indignations of the French government, which ordered his arrest. He escaped to Geneva, where the Democratic Council burned his books and threatened his life. He took refuge in Germany, where an angry mob almost strangulated him. He fled to England, where only one man, Hume, took him into his affections. By the time he was Rousseau, suffering had greatly perturbed his brain. He was tormented by the persecution mania. He suspected that Hume was plotting to poison him. He thought that everyone hurts me because of my love for mankind. Finally, his fear of being murdered allowed him to commit suicide. Shaw said Rousseau led a life of vagabond for 16 years and about through a period of deepening gloom, failing health, broken spirit, haunting terrors, paralyzing illusion, and accumulating despair. Rousseau's state of nature. Man is born free and everyone and everywhere he is in chains. Many a one believes himself the master of others, and yet he is greater slave than they have has the change come about. I don't know what can render it legitimators, I believe. I don't know what can render it legitimators. I believe that I can settle this question. Man is born free only in the sense that freedom and his inborn right it is necessary conditions for the development of the various potentialities of human natures. We can say that he is born for freedom, that he ought to be free. The second part of the past sentence is that he is everywhere and chance merely implied the customs and conventions of the society, and state regulations impose upon him certain artificial and unnecessary restraint which arrest the development of his personality. Rousseau, philosopher of the heart rather than of the head, presented his state of nature to an earthly paradise through, though he himself confessed that the conception of the state of nature was quite hypothetical. As Rousseau says, a state which exists no longer, perhaps never existed, probably never will exist, and of which none at least is necessary to have just idea in order to judge well our present state. He always maintained that the natural state was also better than the social states, for in it natural man, or the noble savage, lived solitary, happy, and careful life of the brute, was independent and contented and self-sufficient. In short, Rousseau man was a non-social being, unknown to good, evil, and the coming death. Thus the noble savage was in the state of paradise, everyone being equal to the other. Man life in the state of nature was regulated not by reason but by the feeling of self-preservation inherent toward incalculable massacre and incredible violence according to Rousseau. Primitive man was near animal than man. He lived. According to Rousseau, primitive man was near animal than man. He lived an isolated and solitary life, having no ties and obligation. He was guided by two sentiments, self-interest and pity, having no moral obligations in other men. He could not be good or bad, virtuous or vicious. He led a solitary life completely devoid of language and wandered about the primeval forest, begetting his offspring by the way hunting for his food, and concerned only with the satisfactions of the concerned only. So the sympathetical need, in a word, the natural man was neither happy nor unhappy. But with the parents of the pax home family and property, the knell of human equality was sounded. But even his primitive society was tolerable, the least subject to resolutions, the best for men. Only when serpent entered into the society in the form of private property was the life of men changed from the property to adversity. Rossi was of the view that the first man having enclosed a piece of land, he thought himself of saying this is mine, and found people simple enough to believe him, the real founder of social inequality and injustice. The institution of private property created a sense of jealous and struggle converted usurpation into acknowledged rights and lead to the promotion of society. He became subject to violence, bloodshed, crimes against property and person in all the evils of society. And civilization included slavery. Thus the life of man became pitiable, miserable, and intolerable. Journal will. The development of the theory of the journal will in social contract was involved in paradoxes, partly because he had a reticence like for the natural man. He ought to have avoided the notions of the contract altogether as both meaningless and misleading. The evil of each individual merged into a general will, each which is Cardinal Feather and Rousseau philosopher has aroused keen controversies and has been subjected to severe criticism. It has been remarked by the Bertrand Russell that the doctrines enshrined in his social contract, though they play lip service to democracy, tend to the justifications of the totalitarian state. MacDonald defined general will as the general is conceived as coming to be when every individual is a group of society, as a conceptual idea of the group as a whole, and identifies his good with good of that good whole. Roche explained that by the free act of those who enter into agreement all these power and rights vested in a community and their powers and rights vested in a community and their respective will are suspected to the journal will. He was of the view that man possesses two kinds of will. Actual will. It is related to the will of individuals. It is irrational will of the man. This will makes self-confined and self-centered. Real will. It is rational will of the individual. It always aims at general welfare of the society. It leads to external decision imparting self-satisfaction to the individual. It is based upon reason and rationality. Rousseau's whole argument depends upon the fact that a community of citizens is unique with its member. They neither make it nor have rights against it. Rousseau clearly distinguished the general will from the will of the majority and the minority. The general will may or may not coincide with any of these wills. It may sometimes to coincidence with the will of the individual. Characteristic of general wills: unity. It is not of self-contradictory, it is individual, because if it were divided, it would become sectional will. Unlimited. It is unlimited. Rousseau assigned absolute power to a sound by following the Hobbes line of actions. Third, inalienable. The journal will and sovereignty are inalienable and undetectable. Unpresentables. The journal will cannot be represented. That is why Rousseau laid the foundation of direct democracy. The journal will can community be realized in a small city-state where population can assemble in fast representative democracy. I hope you understand the political thought of Rousseau. Please subscribe the channels and comments, like and share with your friends. Thank you Allah.